the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and today I'm pleased to have the man, the myth, the legend, Michale Graves. What was performing on the set of the George Romero directed movie Bruiser like, and did George Romero give you any advice?
It was awesome. It was awesome. Part of the dream that I had as a young man was to be an actor, was to be in films, and to be able to watch George Romero, kind of be a fly on the wall and watch the process and see how he worked and watch the decisions he would make was an amazing thing for me. I went to the movies with George Romero when I was asking him about filmmaking, because we were talking about The Sixth Sense and how genius it was. Just like everybody else on a George Romero level, like, Dave Mustaine or Pete Steele, all these people would always say to me, just be yourself and listen to that small, soft voice inside. Listen to your gut. And your gut will never steer you wrong. And there was always, like, from these people, again, it was like they were giving me these warnings that I didn't completely understand. And I remember Dave Mustaine saying it to me. Just, he'd say, just follow your gut, man. Just whatever it's saying inside. Don't let your head overtake that voice. It's very, very important.
So what finally led to your exit from the Misfits in 2000?
I was picturing hanging myself in the bus. That's no lie. I kept on. We were on our way to Canada. And I kept on getting these terrible, horrible visions because, again, the band was fractured. Everybody was fighting with one another. I wasn't even in the band. Nobody was paying me. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I was looking back at everything we had accomplished and all these amazing things and this music and people and how far we had come. And I just kept on flashing back to this, to horrible, this blackness, And so I sat down and I found that I was at, that rock and roll crossroads that you always hear about, where you meet the man dressed in the fine suit, and you have, right? Yep. And I had to make a choice. I could keep going down the road that I was going, just suck it up, and the money was there, the tour bus was there, the girls, the house, everything. Or there was this other road that was not the easiest of paths, but I would keep my soul intact, and I would keep my integrity and my principles and my values and all the things that I got into it with, this life with. And it was a hard decision, and I said, I'm done. This is it. I don't need this. If no one ever knows my name again, that's fine with me. I just want to go home. I just want to go home and be me. I don't need this. And so I did.
How did September 11th change your life and your view on the world?
September 11th was terrible. It was a hard time in my life. I had moved from Seaside Heights, where I was when I came home from the Misfits, and moved back to my mom's house. All I had were the things on my back, my guitar. And I was living in my mom's house where I grew up, 12 miles from Manhattan. So when the towers came down, the wind blew right. We could smell it. We could see the smoke. My brother was in the city. My sister, thank God, she was going to college at the time in New York City. She wasn't there, but it changed my life profoundly from thinking that, oh my God, we're all going to die. I remember going to get my niece at school because my mom believed that the next thing was going to happen was a nuclear bomb, and then moving forward from that and just feeling that heaviness. Like I said, it was right there. I could smell New York City burning. Just feeling the heaviness of that and the sadness and the anger and the confusion and just how everything was changing mixed into the emptiness that was inside me. It was this perfect storm of things. And then the years going forward from that did not get any easier. It was just a long string of deaths and just horrible stuff. So September 11th was kind of like the catalyst that propelled me forward, and not in a good way either. Obviously, it brings you closer to the people that you love, and I remember being more awake to, oh, thank God we're alive. Oh my God, every second on the earth is is precious. But September 11th did exactly what I believe September 11th was supposed to do, and just all of a sudden, just the blinders went on, and there was just anger and confusion and sadness and the looking around of, how do I make this right? How do I contribute to something and make this right without even understanding what was happening?
Looking back on it now, how do you perceive it?
I think that most of our country has awoken to the fact that the official narrative of September 11th is wrong. It's not right. And that something else is gone on. I'm one of these people that, as well, you have people my age, generations of us, lots and lots of us, that were so whipped up into this frenzy and answered the call to fight a war, fight wars, and kill other people for what we believed was this attack. It certainly was an attack, but it's woken this country up and opened my eyes and lots of other people's eyes to the fact that what we see and hear from the TV, from the media, from music, from entertainment, sometimes isn't all what it's actually coming to us saying that it is. I still look at footage from September 11th and I break down. It's PTSD, because everything changed. Everything changed. Our country really. That was it, man. That was the psychological operation that began the true takedown of this country. But all these years later, you know, a lot of people in those years have woken up, I think, and understand more profoundly what our reality is. And then from that awakening, the music and art and entertainment renaissance from this reawakening is moving forward. Elon Musk said it best. He went on the Joe Rogan show and he started talking about cybernetic collectives, and that AI, artificial intelligence that runs the whole world, is being programmed by us. It's being programmed by people that they do this, they just look, and it's learning how to answer the questions that they're looking for and cater those answers to what they want in their minds. You know, they want something to be green, and so the artificial intelligence eventually is going to figure out how to make the answer green, right? So you have all of these you have these generations of people that they just look at their phone or they just look at a headline, and that's what reality is. Well, it's got to be this way because Beyonce said it, or because CNN said it, or whatever, or because the headline on the newspaper says it's so, and then that's it. So you have this cognitive dissonance on a societal level, and so therefore reality is malleable, right? And so you just have the computer, or you have this artificial intelligence putting stimuli out there, and people just reacting to it. It's dangerous because it's like, what is it? The Overton window. It's like, you know, the people making shadows on the cave walls, and people believing that that's the only reality. So it's dangerous. It's ignorant and it's dangerous. And I come from the opinion that if you're Beyonce, or if you're somebody with a platform like these people have, to be perhaps better read, or more informed, or to take more of a informed middle type of view on things, so as not to be polarizing. Balkanization is everything. Once you start to separate people into groups, it doesn't even have it just automatically, because we're humans, the tribalistic part of our brain takes over, and then the guys with glasses or the people that may look different to us, that friction begins and doesn't end there, and it pours out onto the streets like you're seeing now, where people, just because you disagree with them means that you're wrong. And when you disagree with somebody, if you have any other opinion other than what they believe, then you're a threat physically to them. You're a threat to all things, and that has never ever boded well in this world, because there's example after example after example in history where the same sort of thing has happened. And now that we have technology, it's far, far worse.
The Blairing Out Show.